In the beginning of a relationship, you don't just fall in love with your partner, you fall in love with who you get to be when you're with them. They make you feel confident, desired, smart, and secure. And you think, finally, someone who brings out the best in me. And without realizing it, you start believing this relationship will make you more like your ideal self, the version of you that's secure, confident, and enough. You unconsciously start expecting things like, now I'll finally feel man enough. Now I'll finally feel beautiful and wanted. Now I'll finally feel smart enough. Now I'll finally feel safe to be myself. But here's the part that nobody tells you. That's also the moment you start putting the burden of your healing on your partner's shoulders. You've turned your partner into a mirror you hope will reflect back everything you wish you already believed about yourself. And it works for a while, until the high fades. Because post honeymoon phase disappointment isn't about your partner changing. It's about losing the emotional high of self idealization. Self idealization is when you unconsciously worship the version of yourself you wish you were. It's not about who you are, it's about who you imagine you'd finally be if you were healed, confident, lovable, or enough. You start chasing that image like it's your savior, and you measure your worth by how close someone or something makes you feel to that ideal. And in relationships, you end up worshiping not your partner, but the reflection of your ideal self you see through them. And when that reflection fades, the love high fades too. Because what you were really addicted to wasn't them, it was the worship of your own potential. So when the post honeymoon phase disappointment kicks in, you start looking at your partner like, what happened? You used to make me feel. But here's the truth, they didn't stop making you feel that way. You stopped outsourcing your healing. You stopped expecting them to fix something within you that they do not have the power to fix. And once you realize they don't have the power to fix you, you resent them for it. You're now angry they couldn't finish a job that was never theirs to begin with. You wanted to feel man enough. Now every challenge feels like disrespect. You wanted to feel smart enough. Now every correction feels like criticism. You wanted to feel desired. Now every time they're not all over you, it feels like rejection. You wanted to feel safe. Now every disagreement feels like danger, and you blame them for your anxiety. Love can inspire growth, but it can't do the growing for you. Your partner can reflect your potential, but they can't carry it. So no, they didn't fail you. They just stopped carrying the weight of the person you keep waiting to become. So when the honeymoon phase ends, you're not mad that your partner changed. You're mad that they can no longer help you escape the version of yourself you keep trying to bury. Next time you're triggered by your partner, ask yourself, what part of me are they refusing to let me bury? And if you're brave enough, go deeper. Ask yourself, which part of myself is this disagreement forcing me to confront? Awareness is the first step. Action is what rewires you. Knowledge in and of itself doesn't create change. Applied knowledge does. So take the next step and do the work. Our Ideal Self worksheet helps you uncover how your ideal self shapes who you love, how you show up, and why resentment often follows the end of the honeymoon phase. It guides you to see that you didn't just fall in love with your partner, you fell in love with the version of yourself you thought you'd become through them. Through 6 sections of deep reflection, you'll explore who you were in their presence during the honeymoon phase. You'll imagine your ideal self without limits and confront the gap between that vision and your current self. You'll identify what parts of yourself you've been hiding, what validation you've been worshiping and chasing, and how your partner's behavior mirrors the places you still need to grow. Then, you'll shift from blame to ownership, recognizing where you've been outsourcing your healing and how to reclaim it. There's a double power in doing this work. First, you realize you are enough, and always have been, and that having room to grow doesn't mean you're deficient. Second, you stop putting pressure on your partner and your relationship to do something they never had the power to do. These 2 truths are transformative because they bring clarity, compassion, and peace to how you love. Finally, you'll turn awareness into action, choosing one tangible way to embody your ideal self in real life. By the end of this worksheet, you'll see that love's purpose was never to complete you, but to reveal the parts of you still waiting for you to honor them. To download your free copy and start doing the healing and growth work both you and your partner and your children and future children deserve, go to couplesdevelopment.com and click on Ideal Self on the menu.